I tweeted something the other day and I said, Happy Pride, and it was a chart that said body mass index is equivalent to the number of pronouns somebody uses, and where's the lie, honestly? Happy Pride Month, and by Happy Pride Month, what I really mean is no one can, on the far left, can even define what a woman is, so how do we even know what a lesbian is at this point in time? And unfortunately, after being an out lesbian for the last 18 years, I ask myself, am I even still proud? Am I proud that people who are not even same-sex attracted have co-opted our language and our community? Do I feel proud of the fact that my community has embraced victimhood and a forever changing goalpost that is constantly propped up? Am I proud of the fact that my community lacks diversity of thought? How about the fact that in many states kids are being taught gender identity at 5 years old? And am I proud that our acceptance as a whole in society is in decline because of this? Do I appreciate this t-shirt that came out of all this nonsense though? Yes. As an official lesbian, I thought it would be a good idea today to talk about today's corporations and campaigns that they have done for Pride and what I think about them, because some of them are a hot mess, I'm not gonna lie. Target was recently in the news for its devil worshipping Pride campaign line. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. It also featured a homophobe headrest pin, fight for trans rights with axes. It really is a shame because as a former designer, I did study design and advertising in college. I think these designs are actually well done, with just horrible messages. As you guessed it though, the backlash on Target was absolutely horrible. Their stocks dropped a ton. People were making posters saying, we target, obviously, because we target children. I tweeted this a few days back and I was very serious about it because of all the backlash, saying that I should start offering my services as an LGBT person to these brands, to prevent potential backlash like this. Because come on, honestly, like devil worship for Pride? Like really? Really, Target? And this really wasn't happening as much or at all a few years back. Not a good look, guys. By the way, I am serious about that little side hustle that I tweeted, so if you are a brand and you want to market to LGBT people during Pride Month and you don't know how to do it without getting some backlash, here's my information. You're welcome. Next up, we have Ford's Pride campaign, which was redefining tough. And you know, in the past, I actually think this would have been a fantastic concept because for many years, the LGBT community was incredibly tough. But honestly, right now, we're just a big bunch of crybabies with new genders of the hour. I gotta be honest though, I do not hate this Pride campaign, but I do think it's lacking a general idea of where the community is at the moment. This is my favorite comment though on the Ford video. Somebody said, if you plan on getting a Ford, be careful. Since this ad, drivers have noticed an exponential increase in being rear-ended. I cannot. It's so good. North Face also was in the news recently for using a drag queen for their Pride campaign.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual. And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us. Again, normally I wouldn't mind this, but just drag queens as of late have been in the news for not so good reasons, so maybe don't go that direction this year. The summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Again, don't really hate this one. I do think it would have been probably smarter if they used lesbians because lesbians are known to be like more outdoorsy than like gay men, especially drag queens. Like, but I don't get why they would have used a drag queen for that. Next up is one that's actually getting a ton of hate from conservatives, and I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this too because I actually don't hate it at all. I think it's a really good ad. And that is the Starbucks transgender ad from India.
इस बार गुस्सा मत होना प्लीज।
Thank you, Papa, for meeting me. I know बड़े साल बीत गए, लेकिन आप आज भी मेरे लिए सब कुछ हो।
कॉफी?
Three cold coffees for Arpita. Three cold coffees for Arpita.
मेरे लिए तो आज भी मेरा बच्चा है।
The ad ends with the tagline, "It all starts with a name." I honestly think there was nothing wrong with this video. I think it's fantastically done, beautiful. I think it hits home for a lot of people, whether you're gay or trans. Remember, I worked in an ad agency for a few years before trying to do this YouTube thing on my own. Honestly, I would probably have given this an award. I just think it was so tastefully done. It's actually brave, it's not creepy, and it's loving and family oriented. The LA Dodgers were also in the news recently because of the backlash. backlash. Where am I from? Because of the backlash from, I'm just gonna leave that in because that was ridiculous. Because of the backlash from LA Pride Night featuring 2 drag queens that were dressed up as nuns. Here's a little clip from my Rumble live stream recently with my friend Chad where we discussed this topic.
I don't really understand why, but for some reason, when the AIDS crisis began, the gay community just went crazy against Catholics, and they protested the Pope, and they would do die-ins in Catholic churches, and I don't really know why. But that's kind of been a long historical precedent for ACT UP and for the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, who dressed up as nuns in explicitly sexual ways, and they would go and protest at churches. But then they also did community charity work, specifically around AIDS prevention. And I feel like part of it was the Catholic Church taught abstinence only, and gays at the time felt like that was putting people in danger. There was a controversy because I think they were invited for a gay day, and then the Dodgers was like, oh, wait, no, and then they disinvited them, and then there was a big outcry, and now they apologize for it. And this is anti-religious hate that you're celebrating because it's LGBT. And to me, this is one of those fundamental cultural areas where you just can't mainstream LGBT culture because this is what it is. This is LGBT. This is what being gay was.
This is what it's become.
And it's always been provocative, and it's always supposed to make people angry, and it's always targeting Christians, always.
Typical, America.
They're not women in burqas doing this, and they're not rabbis, and they're not.
Okay. That's why I wanted to talk about this. I thought it was a great point to make. Why is it only, and this is coming from somebody who is not inherently religious, right? Why is it only always Christians or Catholics that the LGBT goes after? Why do you never see them going after Hasidic Jews? Why do you never see them going after Muslims?
If you read the headlines, it always sounds like you've got a bunch of gay parents with their kids and their family dog showing up to a park to have a picnic, and a bunch of Christian, conservatives showed up with signs.
Right, that never happens. It's the classic story, maybe, of the victim becomes the bully. Is the answer to bully an entire group of people and make fun of them back the answer? I don't think so. There's no logical consistency. There's no logic or consistency in leftism anymore. And I really do believe that Christians are actually the least threatening people. I really do believe that. They're the least threatening people at the moment. And I think that's why LGBT people in this way are going after them. You would never in a million years see a drag queen making fun of a fucking Muslim. I mean, well, we did, right? And what happened? We did see it one time on RuPaul's Drag Race. A traditional, whatever, one of the drag queens wore the traditional, it wasn't a burqa, I forget what it was, but they wore like a headscarf or something, and they got one of the judges who was, what's the guy's name?
Are you religious, may I ask?
I'm not, and to be honest, this outfit really represents the importance that visibility for people of religious minorities.
Is there something in that religion that is anti-homosexuality and anti-woman?
Celebrating, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they got shit for it. So they don't go that direction anymore because the one time they did, they got shit. They seek out the weakest link, which is what bullies do. And in this case, it's white Christian. Now, in saying all of this, it's very clear that some of these ads, at least in my opinion, and probably a lot of yours, because a lot of you guys are moderate libertarians that watch me, a lot of these ads aren't inherently morally bad. The ones that have gone more viral and gotten the most hate, of course, like the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light campaign, and the Target one that we spoke about earlier in this video, I can see why people got pissed. After writing the bulk of this video, I sat down and thought to myself, there's gotta be a reason why woke corporations are continuously trying to sell people this shit, even though they know they're going to get shit for it. I mean, how many kids are actually going to purchase tuck-friendly bathing suits? It doesn't make sense capitalistically or financially. So why are they doing it? I found this video that is a perfect explanation of why this is happening. And I looked into it, and it's the truth.
Why are so many companies going woke? There had to be some reason. And after some digging, I found it. The CEI, Corporate Equality Index, aka the Woke Credit Score. It's a made-up score based on how much a company is pushing woke issues. And who made up and gives this score? An organization called the HRC, a massive political lobbying group. Apparently, HRC sends representatives to corporations every year, telling them the kind of stuff they have to make visible at the company, give them a list of demands, and if they don't follow through, there's a threat that they won't keep their CEI credit score. And why do companies even care about this made-up woke credit rating?
If they get a bad score, then the woke investor funds start putting pressure on the boards. Woke activists are mobilized out in the streets. Advertising campaigns are shut down. Anyone that continues to do business with them will also be penalized. This is fascism.
Whoop, there it is. I did know about this before because I have worked with HRC way long ago, before LGBT rights were even like same-sex marriage was even legalized. This was back in like 2012. So I knew that this was happening, but I had no idea it was to this extent at this point. All I have to say is pay more attention to why brands are creating the content and products that they are and why they're doing it behind the scenes. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And I have the full videos to my Rumble live streams linked in the description below if you want to check those out as well. Other than that, I will see you guys back here on Sunday with a brand new video. Until then, I love you, love yourselves, keep critiquing bad culture. Bye.